Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Music's loud. All right.
It's good.
Welcome back to the Misunderstood Show. Today we have Nick Hebert.
Nice.
I told my husband, I was like, yeah, it's Nick Hebert or something. I was telling somebody when we had the moving truck out there, I was like, oh, look, you gotta take a picture or whatever. And he was like, Hebert? Where did you get Hebert? I was like, that's how you say it.
Something doesn't seem right. Yeah. It's probably one of the most butchered names
I'm
out
sure.
there for sure. Yeah. Just had a call this morning. She was like, do you still work for your company? Because I got a bounce back from your email. And I had to ask her, I was like, look, do me a favor, spell out my last name for me in that email. And of course, you know, because it's commonly they add in a couple letters or add an R before the B because everybody wants to say Herbert. So that's what it was. She was like, yeah, I was scared you didn't work for the company anymore. I was like, no. I was like, it's just a misspell. You're good.
Yeah. That's going to be difficult. You've had to have that name your whole life.
Yeah, I have had it. Everybody. So now it's basically when somebody asks me my name, I mispronounce it on purpose. Just say Hebert, you know, just so they can spell it correctly.
Yeah.
And then what happens is we'll go back home to Louisiana and I'll say the same thing. They're like, oh, you mean Hebert? And I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing that.
I grew up with Cooper, so that was easy. Of course, some people would still call it or spell it Copper.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then, and I was in the hospital once and they put Hooper. But yeah, pretty easy. Cooper, super easy.
Common.
And I got married and it was Connell, but everybody would say Connell. And I would have to, if I was going to like say it where somebody was going to spell it, I'd say Connell. So, I mean, that was kind of like, you know, but not even close to Hebert spelled Hebert. Yeah. What is that, German?
It's French.
French,
yeah.
Okay. Are you Cajun?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah, from South Louisiana. Yeah.
Makes sense now.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So when I lived in California and I was in Colorado and up north, it was nobody knew how to say it. Nobody ever met, you know, another Hebert or anything like that.
But back home, is it kind of more popular?
Yeah, it's like a Smith.
'Cause you have
anywhere else.
Yeah,
I think there's still phone books out there. I mean, we have Hebert's got 5 pages worth of, you know, people in the phone books.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's really popular.
Super common.
Okay. I moved into a new house, as you know.
Yeah.
Because you let me use your truck.
Yeah.
Which was super awesome.
Saw that, yeah.
You saw how full it was.
It's very full. Y'all had a couple other trucks too, didn't you?
We had another truck. It was their biggest truck from the moving company. And it wasn't like an 18-wheeler, but it was the biggest moving truck that you could rent. And they filled it all the way to the top, all the way to the back. And we were kind of like, should we take his truck? Should we go get it? Because it is a little far for us. But I was like, let's just get it. We can throw like the randoms in there. We have entirely too much stuff. People just accumulate too many things. This is when I realized. I was like, this is ridiculous. Because we filled your entire truck up, which is 14 or 15? 14 foot
box truck.
And it's tall. Mm-hmm. And we filled it all the way to the top, all the way to the back. And then we still had a 12-foot trailer that we filled.
Wow.
And we had to go back and get 2 more loads on the 12-foot. We filled both our trucks and our Tahoe 3 times. And then I sold like $3,000 worth of furniture. I made like $3,000. That's how much I sold. And I had a garage sale. I made like $300, but I ended up just giving away stuff. My garage was like half full still. This is not okay.
I feel like people misjudge how much stuff they have.
It's not okay. It's just not okay. That's when I realized I was like, we can't, like people are like, oh, do you want this or do you want that? Or, oh, sure. You know, or my kids are always dragging stuff home.
You're a hoarder without knowing it.
Well, when your kids are growing up, it's like you need different stuff for different phases and different activities and different sports, and you move around, and then you buy this for this place, and then we have a lot of camping stuff, and we have landscaping stuff, and we have tools, and It's just, I feel like, why do I need all this stuff? I remember I used to be able to just throw all my crap in a car and go.
Well, one day you may need it. That's why you keep it.
I know.
Because one day you may use it.
No, this time I got rid of a lot of stuff, though. I got rid of a lot of
I
stuff.
think sometimes moving is good because you can do that.
I purged.
Yeah, you can purge, kind of like spring cleaning because you're forced to.
And in the new house, it's crazy because like there's drawers that are like empty and like spaces I don't have to fill.
Mm-hmm.
It feels great. I mean, I'm not saying that there's very much of that still, but the house that we moved into is different. Like the garage a little smaller. The master bedroom closet is smaller. It has built-ins, but it's smaller.
You probably had to get furniture that would fit that house too, right?
This house is from like 85 and it has a ton of built-ins. And so that's why I got rid of a lot of furniture because we don't need furniture.
I feel like the hardest thing to do is like your couch.
That's the one
Right.
thing that we have to get a new
Your
couch.
couch.
And the kids, so the new house, they all have walk-in closets with like built-ins. So they didn't want dressers anymore. So we sold all their dressers and they all want desks now. So they can have like gaming systems. Rose is doing a gaming system / vanity.
Well, you got to have that. You got to have the gaming system, then you got to be able to stream it too, right? Don't they want to do that?
Yeah. But we only have to buy 2 desks for them because one kid was going to keep his desk, the oldest. He already had a desk. He was the only one who had a desk. He's going to keep his. But then the new house has a built-in desk in his. He basically got like an apartment. It's this room over they call it a portiche.
Yeah.
It's like a breezeway
Yeah.
carport, but it's all brick. It's really pretty. It has like vines growing on it, and it has an apartment above it. Basically, they call it the library, but it's not separate. It's part of the house. So like when you go upstairs, there's 3 rooms, and then there's that room, and it has a door, so it's a real room. But there's no closet. It's just big and it has windows on both sides. So it's really cool. But it has a built-in desk and has like a built-in entertainment center. And he put our futon up there. I gave him a table. He's got his bed, his end tables, and then he's got his built-in desk. It goes all the way to the ceiling with cabinets.
Everybody likes it then. Everybody's happy.
Well, the other kids are a little jealous of him, I think. Yeah. But we would make that a game room otherwise. But he needed it. And we have one at college, so he can come and sleep on the futon, and then they can share. So he'll have a space now to come to, or before he just kind of slept on the couch or wherever we would throw him. So I'm hoping he'll feel more comfortable and have like a space now.
Right, because this one's bigger. Right?
And what's cool about that room too is, so there's that room, and then there's another room, and then another room, and another room. Well, in between these 2 rooms is a Jack and Jill bathroom, and in between these 2 rooms is a Jack and Jill bathroom. And that's all that's upstairs. There's no living room upstairs. I hated that in our old house. We had our living room upstairs, and I feel like we're just separated. And now we have a living room downstairs, and it's just a better floor plan. It's not that much bigger, but it's just a different, the way it's set up. I just feel like it's a better flow. And even the kids, there's more windows and more light. Their house was kind of dungeony. It was the 90s.
Sure.
Just, I don't know what they did in the 90s. I don't like 90s homes. And the cabinets are horribly cheap. Like the worst cabinets you've ever seen.
In the old house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 80s homes, they have all real wood. All the cabinets are real wood. Everything's like made different. It has real wood in the living room on the walls. It has wainscoting. I like it. It has a lot of character.
Yeah.
It has a big, huge, wide fireplace. It has bay windows on each side. But it's very nice. It's very 80s. It's got the lower ceiling in there. But I like it.
So right after the shag carpet. So no shag carpet.
No, it has all wood floors downstairs. It has a white carpet.
You have wallpaper?
No.
Oh, I think that was a 90s thing, wasn't it?
That was every generation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's wallpaper now. People are doing wallpaper now.
It's coming out. We were just having this conversation the other day with somebody that wallpaper
I
is
like
back
wallpaper.
out. It's like really expensive now, though.
But I like it if it's done right. Even back in the day, if they did it right, if it looked classy, I liked it. It's when they did like these weird, gross stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard to take off.
Yeah, you just have to
When you
go
put it
over
on,
it.
it's done.
Just go over it.
You have to replace the whole wall, I think.
No, you just have to. I've done it before in an old house. It had wallpaper, and the wallpaper was terrible. It was in the bathroom, so it was bubbling and peeling. We went in and scraped all the stuff that was bubbled and peeled it, what we could get off easily and then sanded it all down. And then we just textured it and painted over it.
That was a big thing for a while. Textured walls, I think.
Yeah, you just texture it and paint it. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the easiest thing. Or re-wallpaper. Just wallpaper right over it. But in a bathroom, you shouldn't put wallpaper in a bathroom. It gets too steamy in there, and then it comes off.
Makes sense.
That's the one. Unless it's just like a guest bath with no bathtub. You know, like the toilet.
Yeah, they call it powder room.
Yeah, like, powder room. Yeah. Ooh, you know how they have those little signs that like hang down and say like powder room? People are always asking where your bathroom is when they come over. I should put one of those. It'd be really cute, like a little French one.
So they know where to go when they come to your house?
Yeah.
You put exits on too, so they know where the the doors.
This house has 4 exterior doors. Wow. So at night, we're having to go around.
Go check all of them.
Doors.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys probably like me, like, I know we've locked everything, but before we go to bed, I'm like, let me just go double check.
He locks and then I check.
We'll go double check, make sure the garage door's closed.
Well, the kids will like get up and go outside for something. They forgot something in the car. They go to the garage, they go to the fridge or whatever, or the dog. Let the dog in and out. And then girlfriend, the oldest has a girlfriend now, and she'll leave and they'll forget to lock the door. So we have to constantly check, We've had our doors open so many times.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if somebody wants to get in, are they really? They're going to figure out how to get in.
They want to. Be loud about it.
I mean, give you a heads up. But they could just like cut the glass. And actually, we have a dog door. They just reach in and unlock the door, really.
They'll find a way.
Yeah. If somebody wants to get in, they're just going to get in. So I'm like, why even lock your doors? Then they're just going to mess up your door trying to kick it in.
Just let them in.
You hear about all those break-ins in Creekside?
I did not.
Yeah, there's a bunch of break-ins. They stole all kinds of stuff. Jewelry and breaking into like rich houses.
Rich houses. That probably don't lock.
Stealing safes.
Maybe not lock their doors. Do they lock their doors up there?
I mean, like I said, when I was in 4th grade, we lived in South Austin. And it was in the country. Like South Austin, back when it was like farms and stuff still. And I went to Kosuric Elementary, if anybody knows what that is. Back then it was like farms. And our house got broken into. And they just kicked our front door in. I had nightmares for like a long time.
I bet.
They stole all my jewelry. Like I had like little baby rings and stuff. They were real like gold and stuff. They stole a bunch of stuff, like earrings. So I was pretty upset. And it kind of traumatized me.
I could see that.
But anyway, that's why it's important to live in an area that's safe.
Yeah, a good neighborhood, having good neighbors.
I was going to say neighbors.
Yep.
So I feel like I moved into like a Leave It to Beaver movie because we move in and all the people around us have lived there for like 40 years.
Yeah.
They're all old. It's like an old neighborhood. There's a couple of younger families. They're actually younger than us. So it's like you're either younger than us or they're like way older than like 70s, some 80s. There's one family down the street. They said that they're like our age and they have teenage boys. I haven't met her yet. I just heard about her. But all the neighbors have come over, introduced themselves, brought us cookies. Lady made homemade pecans. Like she roasted them and covered them with chocolate. My husband ate all of them. He doesn't even, we call him a sugar Nazi. He didn't even like sugar, but he ate all of it.
Wow. Yeah.
And he was like, thanks for saving me the last one. I was like, I like threw the packaging away and just left it. It had like paper doilies in it that she put in there. And I left it on the doily for him. He ate it. But anyway, it's just like,
it's gotta make you feel good.
Now I know like all these people, they're definitely watching and they're all up in your business. But I also feel like I have all these kids and they'll hold them accountable and, you know, they're going to keep an eye on the house for us. And I feel safer. I know a lot of people don't like that because they feel like it's nosy. But it makes me feel better. That I know that I have people that will like watch out. And as a matter of fact, my son's girlfriend had her hazards on the other day. I don't remember why. It was like Monday. And the lady from all the way at the end of the cul-de-sac walked all the way down and asked her if she was okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady is awesome. It's
like a good community that you have on that street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady had to be like in her 60s or 70s, probably in her 70s. She plays tennis like every day. She's super fit.
All right. She hadn't switched over to pickleball yet, I guess.
I think she plays that too.
Oh, okay. That's like the new.
I think she's talking about
That's
that.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. My husband's a tennis player and he plays pickleball.
Yeah. It's fun.
I don't know how to play either one.
Pickleball is probably the easier one to pick up.
It takes a lot of hand-eye coordination.
So you'd be the one that sit on the side. It's like, I'm just going to get a cocktail, watch y'all play.
No, I usually just go do something else. I'm like, y'all go.
Y'all go play.
I'm not one to just sit around, but I have back issues too. And the swinging, like golf, anything that has to do with swinging, it kills my lower back.
Yeah.
It wrecks me. I can't even go to the chiropractor. It hurts me bad.
Wow.
Like I couldn't walk too long. It was like a few months ago. I showed up at Coffee Connections and I couldn't stand up straight. And they were like, "Are you okay?" And that girl gave me one of those patches that you put on.
Mm-hmm.
It helps like your healing or something. I don't know. It has like copper or something. I don't know. It has like stuff in it. I was like, this is some woo-woo stuff. She's like, just put it on. I'm like, okay. I put it on. It literally fixed me that day. I'm not joking. It's crazy.
Where do you buy these at?
My friend sells them.
Oh, okay.
You have to buy them from like a person.
Yeah.
I guess. A rep.
Yeah.
It's one of those marketing companies, I'm sure.
Mm.
But
remember the copper bracelets? Remember the bracelets that people would...
Dude, I still wear copper bracelet.
Or maybe it wasn't the copper ones. Maybe it was the one that... Maybe it was copper. They
My mom bought me one. It's like silver, gold, and copper braided. And it's like a cuff. And I still wear it. I've had it since like middle school because I have arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this junk.
Yeah, this was one of those like elastic bracelets. And they had like a magnet in it or something like that. And it was like, hey, it'll fix all of your ailments or whatever. People sold them. I don't know if you remember that. It was big for a while. Not like that. Not the
was
straight.
Was it rubber? And
yeah,
it had like
rubber.
A coin-looking thing. I do remember seeing those. I thought that was really woo-woo.
That was.
But I will tell you, copper does have effects on the body that is good. I wouldn't like ingest it or anything. But then people also drink like colloidal silver. That's supposed to be really good. They've been doing that for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I don't drink metal.
Well, we do. We just don't know it.
It's not in my diet right now. So may have to switch to that, look into that. See if...
I think there's some metals that are good for you and some that are definitely not.
Oh, what's the calories on that one? You got to make sure it fits your macros, right?
I know. You're pretty fit.
Yeah.
You're a fit guy. Do you work out a lot?
Typically. It's part of my routine.
How long have you been this way?
Like working out wise? Probably for the past 10 years for sure. You know, but I've been off and on since middle school, you know, ever since you started
Play
football.
Sports.
Yeah. Played football when I was like in 7th or 8th grade. And I think that's when the foundation was laid, you know.
So you're saying it's important to play sports?
No. I think it's important to have something so you can build a foundation in something. Whatever
we talked about this on the last episode.
Oh, did you?
That's why
Something about sports?
He didn't. He was like, I couldn't. He pulled his ACL, MCL, tore them, all three.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't. My knees are wrecked.
Man, yeah, that's unfortunate.
But he's like, I mean, he's not like, you know, dumpy or anything. He looks good.
No, I would say it's something that's been there kind of always. Like I said, when we started football in middle school, it was part of what you did every day.
But don't you play like golf and like other stuff? I mean, not that golf's a real sport, but.
Well, I play golf. Come on. It's fun.
I love driving the golf cart.
That's fun too. Yeah.
I'm like a little kid. I still love to drive like go-kart. I want to be a race car driver still. It's like a dream. Literally. I keep telling my husband I want a 1971 Mach. I want to soup it up and take it to like where you can do drag races. That's like my ultimate dream. That's my retirement.
You go ride go-karts or anything around here? What? They got a few places around here. You can go
That
really...
K1 racing place sucks. There's some cool places in New Braunfels that have like outdoor.
They got one in New
racing.
Caney that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to go check it out.
Yeah, that one's, it's close to me, so it's close to my house.
It's like a big track and you can go outside.
It's pretty big. You know where that big water park's at? Off of...
the new one.
Yeah, it's called Big Rivers, I think. Is it
yeah,
off 242?
I know of it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's right there off of 59 and 242, I think it is, and it's a go-kart place. It's pretty good. You know, so
I've only been to New Caney once.
Yeah.
I was building beds for kids Well, I wasn't doing a whole lot.
Oh yeah,
but-
Sleep in Heavenly Peace. That's the one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in Lions Club, and so
Cool. Yeah, my wife and my son helped 1 year.
yeah,
with
I
them-
made my
with
son
them doing
come.
that.
do
Yeah,
it.
and what we're hoping to do is this year to be a part of a couple of them and use the truck to help deliver the beds.
Oh, you should just
Yeah.
do some stuff with Lions Club. We do that.
Yeah, so we're kind of in talks of doing that in a couple of the groups that I'm a part of.
Okay.
Of doing that, and that's one
Like
of the
networking
one of the
groups?
things. Yeah, networking. So you know the net group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they just opened up one in Kingwood, and
Oh,
I'm part
that's
of it.
fabulous.
We really haven't even had the kickoff yet. I think the
I'm about to
kickoff
start
is happening
a
this week.
Friday like happy hour
There you go.
with the net
Well, happy hours are
once a
always fun.
month.
This one is twice a week. It's at currently it's going to be at 3Bs. It's all on a golf course. So that'd be
I've never
cool.
been to Kingwood, so
That's
to
okay.
pick up the truck, or actually just to drop it off.
Yeah, so it's right there. So anyways, we're starting a group in Kingwood, and yeah,
It's
that's one of the
growing like
things.
crazy
It
out
is.
there.
Yeah, Kingwood.
And I'd never been there, but on the way there, I noticed so much new construction.
Kingwood. Well, I live within that construction. Actually, it sucks. So my neighborhood is right outside of one of the main drags in Kingwood,
Okay.
and they've just been doing construction there, and it's pretty tough getting in and out of your neighborhood.
Are you preferred lender there?
In Kingwood, I'm trying.
In your neighborhood?
Oh, in my neighborhood? Yeah. That would be a conflict of interest trying to get people to move out of the neighborhood, right?
Well, I mean, for the builder.
No, so the building's done in
Okay.
there. I had talked with the builders, but like when they were actively building, it was probably a little earlier when
Okay.
I was in my career when I was doing mortgages. So, and then yes, they had preferred lenders that they used. You know,
Okay.
builders can be different.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I work for a
builders
title
can- yeah.
company. so
Builders can be.
They
a
always
little
have
bit
their
different.
own title company.
Yeah, if anything, the builders I work with, I'll do turn downs. So anybody and what a turn down is anybody who doesn't, qualify
Right.
under their guidelines, because a lot of times the builder's lender, they kind of want, I don't know, just black and white stuff, A paper, not A paper, but, can't have any
B.
hair on it. Yeah. So, can't self-employed people who need like a bank statement loan or down payment assistance. A lot of builders either don't want to deal with that or can't.
Right.
And so, and some of the builders require that they go through their lender first to be denied,
And then go through
and
you.
then go through me. And the reason they do that is they say that's the only way that we can still have the incentives. Because a lot of the builders, they'll give you incentives towards closing costs.
Right.
So the only way that they'll
Well, if they start
honor
offering
that,
incentives to everybody, then because they make money off of their own mortgage company.
yeah, and I think the unfortunate thing is when somebody comes represented by their own lender, that they won't honor the incentives, just cash incentives, versus like interest rates. Because I can get the interest rate part, right? Like builders, when they're offering like a 4% interest rate, 5% interest rate, that's well below market, they're buying those like in bulk. So like we can't control that. Like there'd be no way for us to beat that.
Right.
And I talk with my clients all the time when they go to a builder, I'm like, look, just send me the sheet.
But sometimes they have a lot of fees and stuff on
They-
the back end.
They do. So typically what happens is I'll tell them, I'm like, look, go through their lender like they're asking you to do. And then they'll give you a price sheet, an estimated cost sheet. We call it a loan estimate sheet, or they'll give them a fee sheet. And they'll send it to me, and I'll tell them, like, I just want to make sure you're not going to get screwed over. Obviously, this is a good deal. I'm going to tell you should probably go with them because I won't be able to match it. But I still want to be here to look after your best interest.
Right.
So they'll send me the fee sheet, and most time, it's everything looks good. I'm like, look, this is good. If anything kind of comes up that you don't understand, they don't want to explain to you, come back to me and I'll help.
Right.
But yeah, there has been times where it's like they are charging them an enormous amount of fees, and at the end of the day, it's not a better deal.
No, on the
Right.
back end, they
Yeah,
do. And they
it's
don't
not a better
realize
deal.
that the closing costs and all the different fees. They do the same thing with title.
Yeah.
And the thing with title is there's no incentive to use their title company. None. It's illegal to give incentives to use a title company. And their fees are usually like double ours, if not more.
Yeah.
I've seen them at $1,200. Ours is $495 for the escrow fee.
Yeah,
The
that's
premium is
cheap.
the same no matter what because it's set by the state.
Correct.
No matter where you go.
Correct.
So really, you got to look at the fees. Then they charge like all these endorsements sometimes that they don't even need, which a lot of title companies do that in general, not just builders. You got to watch all those fees. I have a lot of lenders who refinance with us because they don't have to worry about that. We don't upcharge the fees either, or they upcharge them. So if you do want this endorsement, they'll charge you double than what it actually costs. And people don't know that. And so I'm trying to educate people as well to make sure that you have somebody look at it. The best thing to do is if you're going to buy a new construction home is get all their stuff, get approved or whatever. You have your mortgage, tell them to give you your rundown. What do y'all call that? Like a net sheet. We call it a net sheet, but is it like a net sheet for y'all?
Fee sheet, mortgage fee sheet.
Okay. Get it from them. Figure out what that's going to be. Bring it to you, somebody like you. Bring it to Nick. Have Nick look at it and make sure, you know. It's also negotiable, which people don't know. It's still negotiable. Everything is negotiable. I grew up with a granddaddy who lived through the Great Depression. Everything is negotiable. And, you know, check that. And then while you're doing that, you can look at the title fees too and advise them, hey, even if you don't use me, you can use this. I would do the same thing for you. If I knew that they were going to say, because I just want people to save money. And I don't want people, it's not that I don't want people to make money. I want you to make money. I want to make money. We all need to make money. Well, we don't need to gouge people.
Right.
And we don't need to, I feel like it's deceitful the way that they present it. It's like a used car dealership when you go buy a new house, a new construction house, a lot of times. Is that how you get like the ick a little bit?
It depends. Some of them, yeah, because the way that they steer people. I mean, they'll cut out the realtor too if you're not careful.
Oh, I
when
know.
the realtors are coming,
they're mean to realtors.
It can.
And
it's
then they don't want.
unfortunate.
Then they tell you don't need an inspection. It's a brand new home.
Yeah, so they
And
set
then
them up. They'll set them up for failure for sure.
And then the inspections are worse on a new build than they are on a 1985 home.
Yeah, and really what isn't good is if you go through the lender and everything's in house. You know,
they're not looking out for your interest.
The
lender's not. The title company's not.
A lot of times what happens with that is you'll get the call from the person a year later saying that my monthly payment went up by $800.
Because they didn't know it was a variable rate.
Or the property tax wasn't calculated correctly.
Oh, that too.
You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing is that. And I don't know how the builders, lenders miss that, right? Like, I mean, how are you going to calculate property taxes?
It's their title company that's calculating
so like
that.
Yeah, so everybody,
and the title company works for the builder,
and everybody's signing off on it. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that can happen. But yeah, they're calculating taxes based off $20,000.
I will be honest though, there's been times in title, even for the best title companies, that can happen.
Right.
I mean, because if you have on a new construction, that shouldn't happen because they should know what the taxes are.
Yeah.
But if you buy a home that somebody's lived in it for 30, 40 years, like my neighborhood, they've lived there 30, 40 years, their taxes can only go up 10% a year. And then they get, so their taxes aren't going to be as high as anybody else's. They're way lower. And so when they go sell it, those taxes will triple, if not quadruple in price right now because of inflation in the last 5 years. And so it's very difficult to calculate it based on past taxes.
Right.
But what we do is we take the price of the home and we have a system that we can actually calculate it and try to get a better estimate. It's just more work. A lot of title companies don't want to do the work. They just want to go by the past. Look, they're lazy, honestly.
Well, and I think if you have a good team, in the transaction, when I say team in the transaction, it's going to be, the realtor, the lender,
people who
title
care,
company, So like, for instance, when I am setting up all the fees, I take an extra step and calculate homestead exemption. So, because you have the property taxes, just flat property taxes that you're going to pull from the county, that typically does not include any kind of exemption.
Correct.
Well, if we're going to buy the home as a primary residence, last thing I want you to do is close on the home and be paying a higher tax for the next year because we couldn't close you with an exemption in place when you're going to be doing that in a few months.
Right.
So that's what we do. is we'll calculate. So I'll do a preliminary calculation based off the county, and it's usually close, like really
Right.
close, and then we'll finalize it whenever we get the
And
documents.
you can ask your title company to do the same thing and then compare them.
Mhm.
It's a great way to kind of like, hey, we're at the same around
Yeah.
the same number, we're good. But if we're way off, it's like a back check.
And that's usually what happens.
But a lot of
because then
lenders
we'll
aren't
get the-
doing that either.
No.
I
You
don't.
have to double check it. Like I do it, like my processing team does that. They double check it because I submit everything for the preliminary numbers.
Right.
So they're relying on me as a starting base, and then they do all the check and balances.
Right.
My processing company, right? So like as the county tax certificate comes in that the title company gets and they send it over to us, the processing team's going to give it to the underwriter, but they are checking, making sure, okay, is this aligned with what we calculated? And if it's not, how far off is it? Was it just like a little difference? All right, then we'll roll with that because it's not a big deal. But if it's a big discrepancy,
Right.
then we need to have a
And
conversation.
then insurance is another big issue.
Yeah, insurance has definitely been going up. We've kind of been having to, I guess, bob and weave on that, like start reaching out to like other
You got to shop
agents.
it.
Oh, 100%. And
It's crazy because one insurance
It
company
is.
will be like double the other one
yeah,
for the same exact thing.
it's tough. It's tough.
You also have to make sure I worked in insurance 10 years, so I do know this part. I don't know mortgage. That's not my jam. So I will speak on that. But insurance, when it comes to like P&C insurance, property and casualty, the home insurance, a lot of times they're not apples and oranges. It's not like auto insurance where you have, liability, minimum liability with comp and collision, $500 deductible. It's very black and white to compare apples to apples.
Yeah.
Where home insurance, it's a lot of exclusions and inclusions, and do we cover this and do we cover that in the policy? And you really have to read through the fine print, and especially the exclusions, and making sure things are covered, like mold, especially in this area, flood, broken pipes. I mean, they put water heaters in the attic. Why? I don't know. I really want to find the person and have a nice chat with them.
space saving, I guess. But if that blows up, you're done.
But space saving, dude, there's got to be a better way to not put a water heater in that. And now we have like those little tanks. Why don't it just be a standard?
Yeah, I have a tankless one, so
So much better, right?
it takes a little bit longer for the water to heat up.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. I don't know why my kitchen sink must be at the end of the line, because typically it's like if we need hot water, just turn it on. I go start doing other stuff, and then I can come back, and then the water's hot.
So we always turn ours like way up, which so if you could burn yourself.
Yeah.
But we have so many people in our house that have to take showers that's the only way we'll have enough hot water. And we need like the biggest water heater, and all the things. You're doing laundry and dishes and
you need multiple ones.
so they do put two in some houses. They'll put like one upstairs and one downstairs, or not saying location wise, but I'm just saying they'll run them
Yeah.
separately or whatnot. But water heater is really important, and also maintaining your water heater, because if you don't maintain it, it gets a bunch of soot in it. So just getting your water heater guy out there to check it out, or even an inspector just to come look.
Yeah, I think, the big ones, you definitely want to have a professional come out there and inspect it.
Yeah.
AC, want to make sure your AC is working, your heater's
Once
working.
a year.
Yeah.
Just have it all checked out once a year. Just put like a little schedule on your phone once a year that tells you, because if you don't have your AC maintained or whatever they do, like once a year they come in and like clean it and whatnot, maintenance it. If you don't do it once a year, a lot of home warranties won't cover your AC if you can't prove that you've maintained it every year.
That makes sense. Yeah.
People don't know this. People don't know this. I could go on and on about home warranties and all the things. I'm so glad I got into this business, because I started out right out of high school, got a job in insurance, and I learned a lot about home insurance and people coming in, buying rental property, learning about rental properties and commercial properties. And man, I was just like, oh, and then the whole real estate thing just kind of, even though naturally I'm an artist, but there's so, like, they should teach all this in school.
Yeah.
They teach you all this stuff. Like we were doing math yesterday for my stepdaughter. She's 12 and she's in honors math and she's in 7th grade. And I'm like, she's like, can you help me? I'm like, I mean, I could probably figure this out, but I don't want to.
Yeah, they need to teach finances in school, which they don't, you know.
So when I was in high school, I took Algebra 2 my senior year, and my brother took it his freshman year. We were in the same class.
Nice.
He made straight A's, slept. I had like a 40 the first 6 weeks, because back then it was like 6 weeks you got grades.
Right.
And I was like, oh no. My teacher also, I could not understand him. He was from India. He was a brand new teacher and he spoke so fast. I could not understand what he was saying. My brother was just real smart in math. And I did straight A's, like Algebra 1, geometry, like I was fine. But I don't know what happened. I also wasn't interested in it. So I talked to my counselor and she was like, yeah, you can switch now if you want to switch. But you need to do it now. And I said, what do we got? She's like, oh, we have math and money. I was like, what's that? She's like, oh, it teaches you like how to finance a house and all stuff. I was like, oh, sign me up. And that sounds way more interesting. Like I might actually need that. And they taught us how to finance a house. They taught us about amortization, how to finance a car, how to negotiate a car, how they price the car, like the tricks of the trade. Yeah. They taught us all this stuff.
I've never heard of any of the subjects like that. If schools
I think it was just this teacher.
If the schools do offer it, it must be an elective that you're not required to take.
No, it was my required math class.
Mm. I haven't heard of that.
Because you had to have 3 math classes.
Right.
And that was my third one.
So it was like an alternative math class, I guess.
It was just that one teacher, I think. I've been lucky to get some cool teachers here and there.
Right.
That kind of just really helped me. My son now, he left the Woodlands High School and went to online school this year because they offer a lot of different classes like that.
Sure.
And he was like, but he still has to take a lot of the core classes. And he's like, these are so dumb. Why do I have to read this book? You know? And I'm like, well, but I did, again, I had a good teacher that made me read 1984 by George Orwell.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that book.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just blew my mind. It's a very difficult read when you're in high school. I did not understand it.
Yeah, I think we read that in maybe 9th or 10th grade.
Yeah. You did
like
too?
Yeah. Yeah, we had to read it. I think before they outlawed it. I don't think they have it in school anymore, do they?
What?
I don't know. There's a couple books
That's a necessary book.
There's a couple books that aren't in the schools anymore. I don't know which ones they are, but yeah, I do. My wife was telling me about that. She was like, yeah, they don't allow those to be read in school anymore. You'd have to
we can go down a whole rabbit hole of conspiracy theories of Rockefeller and how they took over the school system.
I'm good. No, I think a lot of what we do is educating people, though. You know, it's
in this business.
So
that's a good lender. That's what a good lender does, is educates their clients.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when I have a client call, it's basically more of a conversational deal.
Or educating their realtors.
Sure. Yeah. Making sure everybody's on the same page.
Because you specialize in several different things, like helping people with down payment assistance, helping people with non-conventional loans.
Yep, we deal with quite a few self-employed borrowers, right? So we have to kind of get creative on the financing side,
right? Sometimes,
and then we have different products that fit self-employed people, because when you're self-employed, you want to write everything off.
And what that means, creative, is like kind of like thinking outside the box and figuring out ways to prove income.
Sure. So I think creative can be taken in a few different ways. Maybe taking an extra step on figuring out how to make a deal work. So like for down payment assistance, you could collect everybody or a person's documentation, all their information, and then you run it through your system and it tells you, no, this won't work. And I think there are some people out there that they just stop at that and they say, look, I'm sorry, this won't work. Like, we can't make it work, versus trying to think outside the box, get creative with it, try different types of scenarios with this person to see if they can be approved. And what I mean by that is like, lower the term. Probably a lot of people don't know that you don't have to get a 30-year mortgage. Right. Like, you can get a 27-year mortgage if you want, 27, 25. There are people that I've helped that we had to get a 27-year mortgage because when you get a mortgage, everything's based on risk, right? So like when we run it through our systems,
Why is 3 years going to make a difference?
it's less risk because it's a lower term because it's going to get paid off 3 years quicker.
Right. Their payment's a little higher. They have
Payments
a little more skin in
higher.
the game.
Yep. And so
their interest rate's typically a little bit higher too, correct?
no, so normally really 20, 25, 30 years, the interest rates are going to be similar. Like a 25 year and a 30 year is probably going to be around the same. Like when we flip it to like a 27 year, it's the same rate.
Really?
Right. Yeah. Now a 15 year, you get a big break.
Right.
I say typically. There are sometimes you do a 20-year mortgage and the rate's better. I think I was looking at one last week, and for whatever reason, the past few weeks, I don't think lenders are liking 20-year mortgages. I can't tell you why, but it's not like the interest rates were a whole lot better when I did a 20-year mortgage.
On these down payment assistance, they have to qualify, correct?
Yeah, so there's minimum guidelines that they have to meet.
And what are those guidelines?
Guidelines typically come in the form of credit, like what your credit score is. So like for an FHA, you have to have at least a 580 credit score. Then when you start talking about it can be, right? But when you do down payment assistance, depending on,
I feel like when you have a 580 credit score, I would personally not give anybody a loan.
Well, everybody has a story. There could be a reason why.
I've had some pretty bad circumstances. My score has never been that
well, you'd be surprised. Could have been an ex-girlfriend that you signed a car with that decided she didn't want to pay it no more or anything like that.
You shouldn't have done that.
These people still want to buy a house, so everything else.
That's why I would never do something like that.
Like you may not lend somebody money, but these big banks are. But like when you look at these people.
And when I was married, my ex-husband would not pay his bills on time, so I just paid them on time.
Well, and if you wouldn't have been paying attention to it, his credit would have been.
Well, his credit score went from like a 560 to like a 700 or something. And I'm sure now it's like a 560
Yeah.
again.
I mean, it's definitely something you have to keep up on, right?
But the point I'm trying to make is after being a part of somebody like that, I'm like,
well, I mean, that's why these lenders...
People don't change.
That's why lenders write guidelines. So 580, right, is still not...
Do they have to put a lot more down?
No.
No, because it's down payment assistance.
Well, it depends. So like a 580, if you have 580 and above, it's 3.5% down. It's just regular FHA, right?
But if you get a down payment assistance...
Down payment assistance is going to cover that 3.5% down payment. Interest rate is typically a little bit higher, right, that they're going to put in it. And there's different types of down payment assistance programs. So there's some out there that's a grant, like we have one right now that's it's a straight grant. So as soon as you close... How do you
qualify for that? You have to be like low income or
a
teacher?
They all have their own guidelines depending on the down payment assistance. Some of them require that you are a first-time homebuyer. So if I make
$200,000 a year and I have decent credit, but I have no cash, because I see this a lot. And I actually had somebody ask me this the other day. They make good money. They want to buy a house, but she's like, I just don't have the money saved up.
We have a program for that.
I figured, so to me, I thought, well, if you make that much money, you couldn't get, and see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. And because down payment assistance too has gone away for a while and then it came back.
Yeah, it depends. So like the one that a lot of people know around here is the T-Shack, right? So and T-Shack has a grant side and T-Shack has a down payment assistance side. Now for the grant side, it's almost like there's a fund in there. And once the funds run out, the grants go away for a little bit.
So you want to get it at the beginning of the year?
It depends on when they replenish the funds. But I'm just saying in whole, like that's how a lot of these lenders work. They'll put this down payment assistance program in place and it may be gone in a few months. So there's
why do they do that? Why do they set it up in the first place? What's their incentive to give people money to put down?
To expand the home ownership possibilities.
Because the market's slow?
They're just trying to make it easier for people to buy homes, and they understand that, affordability is getting harder.
Well, people are broke because everything doubled in price.
So at the end of the day,
people used to make $100,000 a year, and that was like, woo! And now people are struggling.
And at the end of the day, though, like you got to think about these lenders, like it's a business, right? Yeah. So all this stuff's a business model, and they want to stretch it as much as they can to get as much business as they can, without taking on the risk for them to lose.
Okay.
Right. So like, that's why you need a 580 to qualify for an FHA loan, but you may have a lender that's going to put a down payment assistance program in place. And in order to get that, you have to have a 620 credit score.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So that's their risk threshold, is that, or you have to be a first time home buyer, so we have enough programs where depending
now, first-time
on
home
what
buyer,
it is,
I want to explain this because
Yeah.
this is a big misunderstanding. A first-time home buyer doesn't mean you've never bought a home before.
first time home buyer means that you have not owned a home in the past 3 years.
Correct. Which a lot of people could qualify for that.
Owned a home, not purchased a home.
Correct.
Right? Own a home.
You have not owned a home or purchased any property in the last 3 years. What if you own like a lot or you own like other land?
Have not owned a home.
Your homestead.
Homestead.
So you would be a first-time home buyer qualifier, and you could probably get down payment assistance. If you have good credit, you have a good job.
Yeah, if you needed down payment assistance, but if you didn't need down payment assistance and you had money and you just want to put the lowest amount possible and you had good credit, you can get a conventional loan at 3% down as long as you're a first-time home buyer, right? So I think a misconception is
conventional loan, why would you do a conventional loan over an FHA loan?
because the PMI like your
It
mortgage
falls off.
insurance will fall off after you get 20% equity.
And on FHA, it stays forever.
Stays
unless
forever.
you refinance.
Right. Or,
And if you refinance, it costs you money.
yeah, or there's I guess it's in the small print or whatever, but if you look it up, if you put 10% down on an FHA and you've had the FHA mortgage for, I think it's 10 or 11 years and you've paid it on time, you can ask for the PMI to get dropped off. That's the only way to do it. But if you're putting 3.5% down on an FHA
You're
loan.
the first person who's ever told me that.
Really? Yeah.
Ever.
There's a way to get it off, but it's the way that you started your loan. So if you, and I mean, we have it. We have some people that put, 10, 20, 30, 50% down and doing an FHA mortgage.
You're kind of obsessed with this, aren't you?
I mean, it's my job.
It's a lot of people's job. They're not obsessed with it.
I mean, it's my career, I mean, this is what we do. This is what I do every day. So we got to make sure that we know, like what we're talking about. And I'm never afraid to say that I was wrong, you know what I mean? So, or that I need to find that out.
Right. But you have resources. A lot of resources. Edge is big.
Edge is huge. Edge is the number one VA broker in the nation.
Oh, I was about to say, you also specialize in VA loans.
I do. Yep.
And that's why I always think that you're like ex-military, because you advertise you're a big VA guy. You love supporting veterans.
Yep.
You have a hat on right now. It looks like a VA hat.
Yep.
You look like a veteran.
Yep.
You're kind of built like a veteran, because a lot of them are like you. They're like super fit. They stay fit because after being in the military, it's just kind of
Sure.
it's what you do. And you just seem, the way you speak and the way you carry yourself, you seem like a military guy.
I think I believe that's a compliment. So, I mean, thank you.
Yeah, it's a very good thing.
Yeah. So
I respect our military because they are very, I work for a veteran. We're a
Yep.
veteran owned, as we talked about. And he's very regimented, and he's very like
Right.
you. He's like a super nerd. He wants to do everything right.
Right.
If you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. It's kind of that mentality, right?
yeah, I'm
You're
very
a team, leave no man behind.
right, for sure. Very task oriented. I have a schedule. Same thing every day. You can ask my wife.
Yeah, my boss wakes up at 3:30 every morning.
Yep.
He turns his phone off every night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I think if somebody was trying to find me, they'd know where. I mean, my schedule's the same every day, right? I'm at the gym every morning.
He
like
smokes
you know
a cigar
what I'm doing.
every day at 3:30.
Oh, I need to go hang out with him.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So, I do not have prior military experience, but
But you were in their oil field.
I was in the oil field,
which is kind of like being in the military.
I mean, I worked away from home for a long
They work
time.
really hard.
Yeah,
They get up very early.
Yep.
They're very dangerous jobs.
I mean,
I don't think it's as crazy as Landman or anything, but
I mean, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole of how inaccurate that show was.
I come from an oil family.
Yeah. But I had in the oil field, a ton of my friends were veterans. A lot of my friends, people who I was very, very close with, were prior military.
I see a lot of people go in the oil field after military.
Yeah.
My granddaddy was in the Air Force. He ended up in the oil field. My uncle was in the Air Force, ended up in the oil field. My other uncle ended up in the oil field. Like, same.
Yeah.
Most of my family was Air Force and then oil field.
Yeah, and I think it's and I can't speak on military
And they
experience.
also went to
but,
Texas Tech, which is in Landman. So it's kind of funny to me.
Or Baylor in there too.
No, not Baylor.
Wasn't
TCU.
Baylor? TCU, okay.
Baylor sucks.
But I mean,
I'm just
I think
kidding. Sorry, guys. I love Baylor. My husband's a TCU guy.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. He doesn't. I like Baylor because they're green. That's my favorite color. And they're Christian. But he is anti-Baylor. Anti. He just despises Baylor because he's a hardcore TCU guy.
Yeah.
And I'm a Longhorn. My dad worked at UT for 25 years. I grew up there. I just went to Austin last weekend for a rowing tournament. I love Austin. I was like, oh, I miss this. Like, it's just so, everybody's like outside running.
I haven't been to Austin in a
They're
while.
super like outdoorsy. There's dogs everywhere. People are so nice and friendly. And I miss that. It's not like that here. All the music and art and.
That's how it was when I lived in Colorado. Everybody was outside.
Denver?
About an hour north of Denver, Fort Collins. So, and I worked in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I just drove there every day. So it's about an hour drive. It's pretty. But yeah, I think, when you're in the oil field, and especially when you work away from home, you kind of have that camaraderie with
and that's the thing
with your
in the
crew.
oil field, you're like military, you're gone.
Yeah. And so you have your crew people and they're like your family, so that's who you're with the majority of the time of the year.
I do agree in the Landman show. Do you watch Landman?
Yeah, we watch
Does it kind of like irk you a little bit?
No, because like, I guess that wasn't the side of the oil field that I was on, right? Like that's all drilling rigs and stuff. I was on it's called the fracking side, fracturing side. So we would come in after all of that, and frack the well. So no, it really doesn't, it's fine. We watch it. We think it's funny. There are some things that I think anybody with any kind of mechanical aptitude would be like, yeah, that's not right. That's not how that works or whatever. So.
Yeah. And my family wasn't in that either. They were overseas. My granddaddy and my uncle were both like safety directors.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
They were the people nobody liked. They were the Karens.
Yeah. Nobody really liked the safety guys.
No, but my granddaddy has all kinds of awards for being like #1 safety guy. He was hardcore. Yeah. Very Christian and very military. And I have one of his jackets that says Rowan Oil Rig, and it has like safety coordinator of the year or whatever he was. #1 safety coordinator. Something.
Yeah, it's a different life.
It has his name hand stitched on the front.
See, that's old school stuff.
It's a denim, and it has like that interior. It's like from the 70s. The sleeves are worn out and the collar. But it's like heavy. It's huge. He was a big man. He was like in 6 foot something, but it's huge. I was going to give it to my son thinking I'm a big girl. I'm going to have big kids. My son's 17. He's like tiny. He's like dick size. He loves me. Yeah. No, but my son is petite and I named him after my granddaddy, JJ, and the jacket says JJ. And I was like, do you want this? And he was like, Mom, it comes to like his knees. He's like 5'8". He tries to. I'm almost as tall as you. Yeah. I'm like, you could still grow. Like my brother was only like 5'8" when he graduated high school. Now he's 6'2".
There may be another growth spurt in there.
Yeah, my brother's 6'2" now. So he grew 4 inches after graduating high school. It's not. My mom grew till she was 21. Oh. I didn't. I stopped growing in like 8th grade. I was this big in 8th grade.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So
all the boys were smaller than me.
Yeah.
And I had a boyfriend one time. I'd hold hands with him, and he was like this tall.
It's not awkward.
Yes, it was. Awkward. He was really cool. He actually became like a lightweight professional boxer. Oh wow. He was real fit. He was like a star football player. He played center. I still have his like pen on my mum or whatever. I have like I threw my mum away, but I still have his pen. I'm still friends with his sister. We became like really good friends, but he drew a picture one time standing on a stool and kissing me and put it in my locker. Like he wanted to kiss me, and I was like, so I finally was like, okay. I went to peck him, and he stuck his tongue in my mouth, and I almost threw up. Yeah, I was a late bloomer. Yeah, I was like 15.
Not a good time.
I was 15, still climbing trees. I was a dork. My best friend was a dork too.
You don't still climb trees? That's not something.
I would, except I'm scared of falling. Sure. I've had too many injuries, and I don't want to risk it anymore. Trees are a little bit dangerous, and I'm not very strong. So back then, I weighed nothing, and I was fit. Now I weigh a lot more, and I'm not. So I can't do a chin up anymore.
It's better be safe than sorry.
Yeah, if you
Just
can't do
stay
a
on the
chin up,
ground.
you should not climb trees
just
because
stay
if
on the
something
ground.
happens, you're falling.
Yeah.
And you're going to shatter your ankles or
It'll
something.
be bad.
It would be really bad. I know a guy that did that. He was climbing up in a tree and fell and shattered both of his ankles.
I'll mess you up.
Hey, you're in a wheelchair for a long time, especially when you shatter them.
Can't go to work.
Had to have multiple surgeries. Can't go. I could go to work.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hi.
It'd take you a little longer to
I'd
get
be
in the door.
networking around. Yeah.
You'd be shorter than everybody else because you'd be in a wheelchair.
For once.
Yeah, because you'd be in a wheelchair.
I give everybody like rides.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 5 minutes. We got the call. Well, tell us some more. Tell us a little bit more about some major misunderstandings in your field that you want people to know.
I think the biggest thing is that people feel like they need to wait to see if they can get qualified.
Yeah.
There's like...
Or do they feel like they are qualified?
No, there's this stigma that people are scared to talk to a real estate agent or a lender.
They feel like they're stuck.
Yeah, like they feel like, oh, if I talk to this guy,
It's
like
a commitment.
I'm locked in. And it's like, look, we just need to have the conversation to see if this is possible.
Yeah.
Because what happens is we'll get done with the conversation and they're like, look, we know we can't buy now, and they're thinking that they're going to wait a year. After we have the conversation, I'm like, look, you guys we can make this work if you want. Why don't we just go through this? We'll get you a pre-approval, and if you don't buy for another year, like it's all good.
It's
and
fine.
they end up buying a home, 2 months after, right? They find a
Right.
home and stuff. So I think the biggest thing is that people don't want to take the first step, and the first step is having the conversation so we can have a consultation, right? We want to get everything out because my
Right.
job is
I think
to
people are
lay a
afraid of
path.
checking their credit.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing I have to remind people, like doing an application so I can see everything does not automatically pull your credit.
Well, that
Whereas
even when y'all do pull a credit, isn't it just a soft check or is it a hard check?
it depends.
Just for a pre-approval, isn't it just a soft check?
Pre-approval, most times we'll do a hard check because people are serious. Like
Oh.
if you're serious about going buy a home, like we're going to do a hard check so we can check that box
But
off.
you can do a soft check if you're
we
just
can
wanting
do
to.
we can do a soft pull, but in the past we've been burned by soft pulls.
Why?
Because it won't pull everything in. There has been certain instances when we do a soft check and we do a hard pull, different things come up on the credit report that have screwed us over. So I try to stay away from them, but if we have to, I will. But I try to stay away from them and just do a hard pull. But yeah, it's having that conversation. Don't be scared to reach out and like see what's possible, and at least use that time to get educated, because
Right.
the majority part of that
Or start working
conversation
on
is
getting your
educate.
credit, or start working on a plan to save some money.
Well,
or
and that's the
just start
thing.
working on
You're
a plan.
gonna sit here and wait to buy a home, but then when you're ready, you come and then we figure out that your credit's not really good, and we could have spent the last 6 months repairing your credit
Right.
if you would have had that first conversation.
And credit score for a mortgage is different than a credit score for like a car loan or a credit card.
Correct. They use different score models.
Correct.
So, you can't trust Credit Karma. Credit Karma is just like a starting point. Can
That's
kinda give
really
me
just to
an
monitor
idea.
your credit.
Or it can give me an idea. Like if Credit Karma is telling you got a 760 credit score, like I know we're good to go. If Credit Karma is telling you got a
I have a
580 or 550,
740 something, I think.
yeah, so then you'd be good. I know we're good to move forward. But if Credit Karma is telling you something that's real low, we
I
have
use
to
it
look
just
more
to make
into it.
sure, because I had my identity stolen. And I had some stuff from my ex-husband that kept going on my credit. I had to
Yeah,
keep
so
finding it.
it's good to make sure, to monitor your accounts. on
You
Credit
just
Karma.
never know.
Mhm.
I actually recently, a friend of mine, she had some stuff go on her credit that didn't belong to her. And she had to lock everything down.
Yeah.
So,
Freeze everything up. Yeah.
and you can do that. I did that for when mine got stolen. I put a lock on it.
Yeah.
It just sucks because like I went to go buy a car and I forgot.
Yeah. So you have to unlock it.
I had to unlock it, and you can't just unlock it. It's a process.
Mhm.
And so I was pretty heartbroken because I didn't get that vehicle. But I also believe God has a plan. And it turned out I didn't want that. That wasn't the right vehicle for me. I ended up finding something better later. And that's something we have to remind ourselves.
Yep.
Just in my process of looking for a house, I didn't end up buying a house. We ended up renting because we live in the Woodlands, and I'm not going to go into that whole story, and we have too many kids, and we have to be in the Woodland School District, and I honestly can't afford to pay for a $750,000 home
Right.
that was built in 1985, and I really don't want to because there's a lot of risks there. There's trees that fall on your house. There's mold. It's old. It's, but I don't. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yep.
It's mind blowing that a house costs $750,000.
There are people out there buying them.
I remember when I bought my first house, and it was, we just thought we were spending so much money, but it was a beautiful hill country home. It was on acre, half an acre. It was by the Guadalupe River. We had a private river park and all this stuff. Pools, neighborhood pools, basketball courts. Our HOA fees were like $240 a year. Like, oh, score. The house was $260,000. And we thought we were spending. We were like, oh my God, this is so much money.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, a $260,000 house sounds like it's like buying a trailer. You can buy trailers are double wides cost $260,000 now.
Yep.
Is that not mind blowing? This was like not that long ago.
A few years ago, 3 years ago, when you had the mass, equity gain.
Well, it started really in like 2018 is when it really started creeping. And then in 2020, 2021, it just...
Yeah, I mean, our goal is just to make sure we can put the path out for the people and do what they want to do and meet all their goals.
People think that house prices are, the bubble's gonna bust
crash
and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't
think that's gonna happen. What I do see in different markets, though, if you look, the Woodlands is actually decreasing a little bit. That's another reason I didn't want to buy there.
I think there's a little bit of a correction that's going to happen.
Correct. But if you go to Montgomery, they're increasing 12% a month in price. If you go to Conroe, 3% a month. If you go to Magnolia, increasing. A lot of places are increasing where they have development, but most of it's new construction. But the Woodlands has 0 new construction. And people are like, why would I buy a house here when I can go to Montgomery and send my kids to Lake Creek, which is a great school, and live in a brand new house? With brand new amenities, where the Woodlands, everything's old, the pools are run down,
right?
Everything's run down. And so, I mean, not that I don't think the Woodlands is great. It's still a great place to live. It's super safe. There's trails everywhere. I don't mind swimming in an old pool as long as it's clean. I'm not bougie. I grew up swimming in a lake, creeks, and I actually prefer that. I don't really like chlorine, but... I don't like water I can't see through.
Sure.
So I'm not swimming in Lake Conroe either. But I think that many people, that's how they feel. And that's why the Woodlands is a little bit different. And I know a lot of people in the Woodlands don't want to hear this and don't want me to say this, but it's the truth. I mean, the numbers are the numbers.
Right.
And the facts are the facts. And we have to tell people the truth. And it's a risk. If you want to live in the Woodlands, great. But you're taking a risk because it is decreasing a tiny bit. It's not like it's not like it's going to crash. But for me, it's probably going to take another 3 years to correct. We've only been correcting for about 2 years. It takes about 5 years to correct a market like that what we just had. If you look at history,
right?
Just go back to 84, 85, 86 when we had the huge inflation. And then it took 5 years to correct. It's happened over and over. You look at history, that's about the average. And so that's what I go by. That's why learning history is good. That's how we learn from things. That's how we know how to predict things, is by how things happened in the past.
Right.
But every situation is different. And our situation is very different than any situation that's happened before. First off, we've never had a COVID, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite my tongue, but yeah. So I think that, in every situation it's different, but I think that talking to somebody like you, that's going to help them make a decision. You're kind of like a financial advisor in a way.
A mortgage advisor, you could probably say.
But that's your biggest finance.
Yeah, for sure.
And you help them, you can help them with their credit. You can kind of give them a little bit of advice. You can direct them to credit repair. You can get all those things rolling for them and letting them know, hey, this is what you need to do. Don't do this, do this, don't buy anything.
Yeah. As long as they have a clear path once we're done talking, they usually feel better about it. That's the biggest thing is if you can have a conversation with somebody and you end the conversation and they feel better, then you've won, right? Like that.
Most of the time people do feel better. I think people are kind of there's so much propaganda on social media that everybody lives in fear now.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. I'm sure you can talk to a mortgage lender that probably make you not feel too good after you got off the phone with them. You know what I mean? It's people who want to say, look, this isn't going to work out. Sorry. Better luck next time. There are people who are probably
that don't want to take the time to fix it and help them and get them to the finish line.
Whereas me, it's not necessarily a no, it's just a not right now. So let's figure out how to get you to, yes, we can do this.
But what you're saying is, let me just make this clear, is you will take the time to get them to the finish line, where some people, they just,
Right.
they don't want to take that
They
time.
cherry pick.
It's a lot of work.
Yep.
And sometimes it doesn't pan out and they don't get paid.
Correct.
Because if you don't close, what really, let me just tell you one more thing before I forget. This is something I wanted to bring up. If you go to a lender and you have this guy do a bunch of work for you, and you go out and you find a new build, please, for the love of God, do everything you can to see if he can still do it. And don't just jump ship and ghost him and go to the new build. First off, that's so rude. They've done all this work for you. Do the right thing. Let them know. Let them look at it. At least give them the opportunity to tell you, you know what, you're going to get a better opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you're going to tell them the truth. And so, well, I think you will. Maybe not everybody. But I think most mortgage lenders do tell the truth. Or ones I know. I don't affiliate with people who are shady. There are shady ones. We just had to blacklist a lender.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's bad. He's also a realtor and he's trying to double up all kinds of stuff. He's shady. They're out there.
Yeah.
You got to have good people around you to protect you.
I'll tell you that. I mean, I tell people the truth. I just told an individual earlier this week. I said, look, the other guy that you're working with, I'm like, it's actually a really good deal. It would be a waste of your time to try to start the process all over again with me. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's keeping the line of communication is key. So
we're getting the
like, hurry up, shut it down. Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
my husband does that to me at church.
like, come on, let's go.
Well, it was great talking to you today,
thank you.
Nick.
Thank you for having me on here.
I'll probably just have you on again just because
Part 2.
there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can talk about, so many rabbit holes, and the market's always changing. What the products are always changing.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so in
New
6
products
months,
all the time.
who knows? The woodlands might go up in 6 months.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
You never know.
Or it could crash, and I don't think it'll ever crash. There's too many people that want to live there, but anyway. But thanks for coming today.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
appreciate your time. Y'all give him a shout out. All his information's in the description, and we'll
Look forward to hearing from you.
talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.